はい、皆さんおはようございます。新三国無双7 with 猛将伝の、無双ゲームのお時間、無双時間、ここから1時間、よろしくお願いします。ソーシャルロビンです。よろしくお願いします。そして、僕一人でも解説できるんですけど、ちょっとね、解説混乱するかもしれないので、解説者として笹さんに来ていただきました。よろしくお願いします。
はい、ご紹介預かりました解説の笹です。よろしくお願いいたします。
はい、では早速始めていきます。で、議伝ということで議をやっていきます。では早速始めますのでタイマースタートの準備をお願いします。
はい。
はい、でこれ難易度天国選んだ瞬間に、タイマースタートです。では3カウントで始めていきます。3、2、1、スタート。
Hello,
それで
hello.
は笹さんにまずゲームの紹介と
Welcome to Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition.
このゲームなんですけども、
I will be providing you with the commentary in English.
新三国無双、
So, right off the bat,
猛将伝
might be a few seconds late, but that's alright, right? Right off the bat, you can see there's two characters. That's to manipulate dialogue, and later to use the second character, but currently, no. Anybody unaware of the Dynasty Warriors series, it's basically a hack and slash game set in ancient China, somewhere around the 3rd century, with the fall of the Han Dynasty. The main movement tech, as you might have seen, if you look at the top screen, is sword cancelling, or dash cancelling. Basically, a dash is just a, let's say an animation cancel out of like a jump or an attack. And the sword has the curved blade, or curved sword, I'm not sure which one it is, actually, is a unique type, since it moves you forward. So you attack, and then dash, attack, dash, attack, dash, and that's it. So the runner, Robin Kirisame, he started early this year, I think, somewhere in February, maybe? He's currently the only runner, active runner, because I don't really actively run this game. About the game, we currently run on easy, which is the lowest of the 5 difficulties. The highest being ultimate. We used to run on ultimate. I do not recommend it. It's basically just a hassle. Really. It's New Game Plus. I'm sure everybody is familiar with that term. Everything's maxed out already, blah, blah, blah. And typically it's run in English, but currently it's being run in Japanese, which is gonna cost probably somewhere around 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not entirely sure because I've never timed it. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. So maybe I can translate a little bit of the basic Japanese that I know. See what he's talking about. Probably way too advanced for me anyway. But here you can see the effect of 2 players in action, split screen. Diao Chan has no dialogue for some reason. I have no clue why. But she doesn't. So that dialogue she did have is just random dialogue. Zheng Liao used to be my favorite character. Might still be, not sure. I could sprinkle in a few, ancient China facts that I've learned over time. So the game itself is based on The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which is a novel from the 14th century. So it's kind of a take on a take of history, you could say. Romance itself is based on the records of the Three Kingdoms / history itself, I guess. And this was the first stage. There's 13 in total. Oh, this is way historical. Next up is Hulao Gate, the second stage. There's also hypothetical, in which you branch off later on, but you have to do hypothetical objectives during these runs. Yeah, it is way too advanced for me. Okay. So As you may have noticed, pretty much all characters have the two same weapons, except for this stage. Typically, they would have a sword and knives. Knives to build up rage. Rage is basically a, let's say, like Superman mode. You go really fast in terms of attack speed. So that's really useful if you want to sword cancel really fast, or dash cancel. The second character, the bottom one, is being set up for a little dialogue prompt later. Here we free up Yuan Shu, who in history was not providing Sun Jian, his vassal, with provisions, since he was doing too well, apparently. That's the type of person Yuan Shu was, I guess. You know, the later self-proclaimed emperor. Here we have Hua Shang, whose only mention in history is that he was killed by Sun Jian. And yet he's now a unique character in Dynasty Warriors 9. Very nice. Not that I mind. Alright, here is a crucial part. To be really fast here, optimal hops, and... Oh my god, he got it. Okay. He accidentally jumped over the gate captain, but he got additional dialogue, I think. Also, he used the second character to defeat the enemy officer that was there, which causes the dialogue there of the gate opening. If there's no dialogue ongoing, you will get an ambush dialogue, which is why you have to be fast there. It's also the reason he brought the bow. You might have noticed he was shooting a bow from like a little distance because of the set trigger he was avoiding.
はい、これがですね、非常に損な技が決まった時は何がどう変わったのか分かんないんですけど、失敗した時はもう明らかにこいつ失敗したなって分かるんですよ。はい、さっきの門の前でひたすら待たされる。ちょうどノートプレイズ前のね、南青山の交差点ひたすら待たされる感じによく似てるんですけど。なので失敗するとかっこ悪いけど成功しても。
Right here, he is building up rage because he needs the speed because this is a speed run. The trigger for the next dialogue is inside of this base, so he's waiting inside of it. It will happen as soon as Jashu talks. So this. He didn't use his rage. I mean, there's dialogue ongoing, so it doesn't really matter. This entire game is basically a dialogue simulator. And in some cases, you try to outrun the dialogue. That's basically it. Okay, now he has to avoid Diao Chan. Also, at the gate, he did a little trick. You just watch the cutscene for like 2 seconds, and the gate is open in the cutscene, so it's open in fake life or real life. I don't know, in the game itself. Now the final part, going to Dongzhuo. The evil man, Dongzhuo. Evil tyrant. Burning down Luoyang, as he did in history. Deposing the emperor, poisoning him with the help of Li Ru. Poor little guy, only 13 years old and killed by Dongzhuo for his little brother, who was 9, so he could control him as a puppet emperor. Alright, here we go. A new trick. This is save jumping. It is basically... Oh, he failed the first one, sadly. But you jump, and then you save the game, and then you load the game, and then you jump again, and repeat. So this will be done probably 4 times. And then it is followed... Oh, he failed again! Oh no! Robi-chan! And then it will be followed up by a save clip, which is... Wait, is it this here? Actually, no, it's not. I don't think so. No. So a save clip, we'll see later. Oh. A bit unlucky. Okay, there we go. He got through. There we go. A safe clip makes you able to go through a one-way ledge. For example, if you look where this guy just jumped from, there's a ledge right there. You cannot jump up there, but with a safe clip, you can. There's also a few other tricks we'll see later. Well, it's the same trick, but a different method. And here we go to, I believe this is Yang Feng. Is it? No, this is Zhang Yan. Zhang Yan, the leader of the Heishan Bandits, the Black Mountain Bandits, which were running amok in Dong Commandery, of which Cao Cao was named the administrator. He is not a former yet. Wait, is he? He might be, I'm not sure. Anyway, Shuchu is hanging around here for some reason. Also, for some reason, his name is misspelled still in the current game. It's actually Shuchu, not Shuju. Okay, the third stage. This is the Battle of Shu Province, or the invasion of Shu Province. Here we'll see another save jump, 2 of them, followed by a save clip. So the backstory is Cao Cao's father was returning back home because of all the turmoil, and Tao Qian's subordinates killed him and robbed all his wealth. So Cao Cao did not like that, and he went to attack. That was a save clip right there. Very nice. And Tao Qian holed up in his castle, and Cao Cao went a bit mad with his newly acquired Qing province army with the former Yellow Turbans, and he kind of killed the general populace en masse. Now here's another interesting little trigger. So this base, you can actually avoid the ambush that happens here just by sticking to the right, which for some reason there's no trigger there. So if it works, it works. Let me go inside the castle a bit to hit another trigger, which causes the castle to burn, I believe. And 2 more save jumps, hopefully, maybe 3, and a save clip. And we're safe. I think this will be 3. That didn't look like it was far enough. Yeah, 3. This one is a bit tricky. It's like right on the edge of what is possible. So it has to be basically perfect. Now we wait for Liu Bei, which during this period is basically the knight in shining armor. He comes to help everyone. Want to help Kong Rong, which caused all the Yellow Turbans to run into Cao Cao's territory. Now he's here to help Tao Qian, who will die of old age very shortly after this. And then Liu Bei inherits his position, or is appointed to his position, rather. And I'm sure everything will go well with Liu Bei then, right? Also, now this entire campaign is basically abandoned by Cao Cao for the 2nd time because of Lu Bu. But sadly, we do not get to see that stage because that is hypothetical. Not that it didn't happen, but well, it's just, it only happens in the hypothetical round.
はい、曹操様の素晴らしい演説をね、聞いていただいて、次のステージへの準備をしたいと思いますね。はい、次のステージは。
And here we have Imperial Escort. So we use 2 characters. I actually don't think it skips any dialogue. This case we use it for ability, or what would you call that? We use it for positioning. You'll see later. No spoilers here. So now we are introduced to Xu Huang, who is a former bandit of the White Wave Bandits, under Yang Feng, who joins Guose or Li Jue, one of the 2. But they came to the rescue of the Emperor when he fled from Guo Se and Li Jue, which are basically the 2 top commanders of Dongzhuo, who Lu Bu assassinated, in case you forgot.
2P もあと追いかけるように所定の位置につきます。この所定の位置なんですけども、計5
I don't think there's any new tricks
効率的に監視できる
coming anytime soon. This game has like a couple tricks, and they're just used a lot. Basically, just dash cancel everywhere, and then dialogue, wait a bit. Oh, that's it, really. Also, pray for good RNG. As the wise men said before us, skill is RNG is skill. I nearly switched it around. Okay, now we position the two characters to try to cover all the spawning positions that the Emperor has. So you actually do not want the closest spawn to the exit of the Emperor to the exit, because that will cause Yuan Shao to have his long dialogue. So what you want one in the middle, I believe, and then you want Lu Bu to spawn, which is very short dialogue, and then you defeat Yuan Shao and Zhang He. And basically, as soon as the Emperor gets there, the stage ends. I think. I've never really timed this. It's also really annoying to time. So this should be optimal, I think. Or is this the furthest one? This might have been the furthest one. We'll see if he gets... Okay, we got Zhang He dialogue. I'm fairly sure if he had killed him in time, because he didn't spawn in, which is annoying, but it happens. There would not have been dialogue, I think. Maybe. Yoku yatta zo. So the next stage is the Battle of Wan Castle. Oh, he has movies on. That was a movie. You can disable them and you don't have to skip them in that way. Pachi pachi pachi. So two characters avoids dialogue, and it also does. I think it automatically completes the hypothetical playing as Dianwei, maybe. Not entirely sure, but regardless, we're gonna complete the hypothetical objective here, because not doing it unlocks a optional stage, and that costs more time than doing the hypothetical. So we do the hypothetical, which involves rescuing our family. And Dianwei, I suppose. Also, another side effect of New Game Plus is that horses retain their abilities, which is kind of a bug, I guess. So there's 3 abilities you want, and then the 4th one is swimming, which in way historical is the only run that takes benefit from it. And then the other ones are penetrate, which allows you not to get staggered on the horse. Shadow something, which you don't take damage on from arrows, I believe. Which doesn't matter, but it used to help in Ultimate. And then the 3rd one is you do not get knocked off your horse. And as you might imagine, that one is really useful. Now we make a mad dash to rescue our family, and on the way kill the guy that's guarding the gate. I believe this is the longest stage in this route. It's probably tied with the next stage. It's like 3:40? 3 minutes, 40 seconds?
助けることによって実はこのステージで本当はなくなる予定の転移が生き残ります。はい、転移ファンの皆さんはご安心ください。転移は生き残ります。
Okay, Robin is now explaining the hypothetical. I see. So now you quickly try to defeat all these bullies outside. Smack them down, and then you go trigger the 3 bases where there are ambushes waiting. And it seems Robin got lucky, because he did not get dialogue blocking this dialogue. You know, the game of dialogue, that's this game. You defeat them, and then it's a waiting game, really. Well, not really. You have to defeat some enemies because they might block the commanders, your allies, from advancing. By the way, they might be called allies, but they are not your friends. You're gonna, if you ever run this game, you're gonna grow to hate allies. They only serve to get in your way. Hey, would you like to know why? Why this guy is mad? Why did he decide to surprise attack us? Well, Cao Cao might have, so the guy I'm talking about, Zhang Shou, well, he is the nephew, I believe, of Zhang Ji, who is a officer under Dong Zhuo, or was, but he was killed, so they left, along with Jia Shu, who joined. And well, you see, Zhang Ji's wife, well, Cao Cao really liked her. Cao Cao has a thing for widows. If you didn't know, that's an actual thing. Go look it up. And thus, Zhang Shou got really upset, and he decided to attack. I hope you enjoyed my story. Now it's just like 40 seconds of waiting, I think, or 30, until the, I believe Cai Mao arrives. I don't think he was here historically. Cai Mao is an officer under Liu Biao, I believe. They're to the south of the current location. Here we go, gates are open. Go, go, go. Rage to go fast. And then we defeat Zhang Shou and Jia Shu. The typical try to skip too fast so you don't skip at all. Happens to me a lot. So as you can see, because of the hypothetical, Dian Wei is still alive. Historically, he dies at that battle, rescuing Cao Cao, or defending, and then Cao Ang, Cao Cao's firstborn son, dies giving his horse to Cao Cao. So clear that base and then quickly try to take Baima, or quickly take, not try to, you have to take it. Take Baima and Yanjin. You have to really try to defeat the two officers before they can speak, so you skip their dialogue. Let's see if he gets one. Okay, that's one. Not sure which one it was. I think it's Yan Liang first. Historically, I think Yan Liang is killed by Guan Yu, who is currently working for Cao Cao, because the three brothers all got split up in the turmoil. Liu Bei, Zhang Fei, Guan Yu. And Liu Bei fled to Yuan Shao. So, interestingly, they are fighting on opposite sides. And there goes Wen Shou, who historically was killed by... I don't know. But I'm fairly sure Wikipedia told me that Liu Bei was with him, but he wasn't killed, he just fled. And now we position Dian Wei to guard the enemy officers, surprisingly. We do not want them to die because that causes dialogue. So he babysits the officers that are approaching, Guan Yu and buddies, so they do not advance at all. Here we have Shu You betraying Yuan Shao. He was not satisfied, telling him where Wu Chao is, the supply base, supply depot. Also, if you're wondering why it's no out of bounds, there's this little trick in the game where if you ride a horse and you run into a wall, you have a chance of going through it. randomly.
理由がありまして、こ
So
こにカウがいると思うんですけど、カウがですね、こう見
I wouldn't say it's the most fun
天気を通
category.
してしまってどんどん北上していってしまうんですね。で、カウが北上していきますと、
It's not. I'm not sure, or nobody's sure how it exactly works, but you have to be hit by enemies.
こうカ
If
ウ
you're
とリュ
just
ウビが会うと
at a wall, it doesn't
再
really
会
happen.
のカウとリュウビが再会した時のセリフが流れます。で、カウとリュウビが一緒に撤退して
Now we wait for Wu Chao to
始
burn,
まりますので、それは非常にロスということ
and
で、
Zhang He will open the door for us.
流さないようにカウをできるだけ北上させ
Beautiful
ないとい
door.
うことで、このように、足止めをしております。
このゲームなんですけども、プレイヤーキャラが近くに
As you can see, Dion Wei is guarding the enemy officer. If this were off screen, he would die in like 10 seconds, which causes the next wave of enemies to approach, and that might cause dialogue and so on.
で、そろそろ家計が成功しましたね。
There we go. It's burned down.
実際ここでもうね、
This battle really showed in history that Cao Cao was militarily competent. It's like one of the most successful battles fought in the entire period.
で、
The other one being Chirby, spoilers, against Cao Cao. Tragic. Wow, look at it burn! That's what Dion Wei says, sorry. Final gate, it will open after Liu Bei says his little line, which sadly isn't skippable, it happens regardless. There we go, Yuan Shao down. He will die of disease 2 years later. Off to White Wolf Mountain, which is mainly fought against the Wu Huan, which are like nomadic, bit of tribal, somewhat tribal, the nomads, barbarians, they call them. But it's also condensed with all the battles fought after Guandu against the three Yuan kids. As Yuan Shao was a bit indecisive, sorry. So he did not name an heir and they fought a bit against each other. So here you have to strategically open the gates, which causes dialogue, to open as many as fast as possible, but also not block the dialogue that advances the stage, that being Jashu talking. He does it slightly different from me, but this seems optimal. Okay, it seems he got one extra line of dialogue. Oh no, there's one more. If you do this like almost perfect, you're gonna get no extra dialogue. You have like almost no leeway, but it is possible. Also, another thing about character selection, you can't just pick any character. You have to, the route will differ that you're given in a stage, depending on which character you play. That being the first character. Second character doesn't affect the route you're given. Surprise attack. Yuan Tun down. 2 left. This is the optimal place to use Rage because there's no dialogue going. If there's dialogue going, there's no real point to using Rage because you have to wait anyway. I think that's Yuan Shang? Not sure. And in typical fashion, there is a gate that you have to wait for. And he's down. Battle of Shinya. which I think historically is the Battle of Bowang Slope, something like that.
続きまして荒野の戦い
A
です。
battle which Cao Cao lost.
深夜です。深夜。
あ、深夜ですか。
はい。ごめんなさい。多分ルビー振ってないです。多分。
So
あー
second character avoids lots of dialogue on this
深夜
stage.
調べて
So
あどっちもある
definitely have a second character.
いや、中国語は
There's a trigger in front of this gate he's standing at,
それは確かにそうですね。
so do not leave from it.
ありがとう
Oh no, he left from
ま
it.
た一つ賢くなりました。
Okay, it's fine. He already had the dialogue.
さてここなんですけども、八問喫茶の陣、もしかしたら聞いたことがある方いらっしゃるんじゃないでしょうか。まあざっくり
Now it's basically just go to spots, enemy spawns, kill enemy, go to next spots. Also, let's pray Eugene doesn't die right here. Let's see. Eugene? Oh. Okay, I think he didn't die. See?
どうしようっていうところなんですが、はい見ての通り。
Nope, he was defeated. Unlucky.
まあ内部に入り込んで全部破壊
It's almost guaranteed, but not fully guaranteed.
そういった手段を取っております。ご覧の通りね、敵どんなに集まってもこっちの一撃で全部散っていきますので、
And now to rescue Cao Ren.
戦いは数と言われますが、圧倒的に強い位置がいればそれで事足りるわけですね。
これいいパターン弾けましたね。
いいですね。
これは、なかなかいつもは弾けないパターンなんでちょっと驚きました。
具体的にはどういうパターンだった
Oh
んです
look,
か？
a gate.
発生したセリフが最小限でしたね。
何度も言うようですが、このゲーム
Well, the true Dynasty Warriors fashion is 1 against 1,000.
セリフが少ないイコールゲームがめ
The
ちゃくちゃ
power
回復す
trip.
るということですので、とても RTA 上で大事な
This base can be a bit finicky because of the way bases work. The peons, the random troops, the common folk standing around can just randomly decide to take charge and decide that this base will not open until you defeat me,
これで孫家倒したら天下統一なんでクリアですかね。
which is highly annoying.
やりましたね。
はい、ということでこのステージで孫
Right.
家倒したら
Kirby?
タイマーストップです。
Probably
いや
the most known battle,
ちょっと
maybe?
しか経ってない
Probably.
あれこのゲームの世界記録って主流は英語版なんですけども、英語版の
Historically accurate, Cao Cao was jumping all about the ships, that's why he lost.
1秒とかだった気がします。
今の時間がだいたい32分、10分ほど短縮ですね。
本番でいいところを見せれるかなと。
So it's basically just waiting until the ambush happens, right here.
どういう
Then defeating the ambush, then defeating all the traders, of which there is one, that being Tai Mao, because Pang Tong is not discovered because this is not hypothetical. By the way, I read the other day that Pang Tong is a subordinate, or was a subordinate at one point of Zhou Yu. I found that surprising. Isn't that surprising? I think that's surprising.
あれけどこの船燃えただけだった。あれなんか他の船も燃えてるんですけど。
Right, off to Tai Mao, and then we go to the escape boat,
船全部燃えてるんですけど。
where the latest of the latest skips shall be used.
船が全部連結しているせいで、一つが燃えてしまったせいで全部燃え移っていきます。総々的にはもう絶対絶命といった場面となっております。
By the way, there's this little bug, let's call it, where if you, this is my hypothesis, if you defeat an enemy,
はい、まあいわゆる負
okay,
け権
let
と
me
ですね。
first explain. If you defeat an enemy and there's no dialogue ongoing, you will get extra dialogue of enemy officer defeated, stuff like that, right? So, if there's dialogue ongoing, that doesn't happen. But if you defeat the enemy officer right in between, like the frame of one dialogue going into the other, the dialogue still happens. So have fun when that happens. That's highly annoying. There's some spots in the game where that's very likely to happen just because of the way time works, I guess. So there is one of the places where you need to be careful, not immediately kill him because then it might happen. Here we're waiting for our lovely allies to crawl all the way across the ships at a snail's pace. Now, why doesn't Cao Cao just give everyone these swords so they can all dash about, huh? Maybe he wasn't militarily competent. Okay, there we go. Gunning. And now we quickly save quit load. Or save skip. Which causes the boat to immediately start sailing, I guess. It doesn't have a sail, does it? Okay, maybe they just turned the engine on, I'm not sure. So this has a side effect of Liu Bei actually spawning, because if you do not save load, it will take like 20 seconds to spawn for some reason. Which is highly annoying, by the way. And now we dash cancel to the ambush. Then we dash cancel to Zhao Yun. And then we dash cancel to the end. I think you might see the pattern. Right, we're about to see the quickest dash canceling ever. Here we go. Here we go. You ready? Fastest of the fast. Uphill, which allows you to do it faster. And with rage. Oh. Okay, we saw it a bit. Very nice. Movie right here? Oh, there's no movie. Okay. Thought there was there. Okay, there is. See? That's a movie. Turn them off. Turn them off. And now we get to a new... well, it's not really new, but kind of new tricks. So this stage is really interesting. It's relatively recent that this strat was rediscovered. So here we want to build Muso, which are the bars at the bottom. If you're familiar with Dynasty Warriors, I'm sure you know what Muso is. It's basically just a special attack. But what we're interested in is Wang Yi's specifically, this character he's playing, her aerial Muso. Now, why would we be interested in her aerial Muso? Let's find out. Well, it can do a ledge clip. She can go through invisible walls. Invisible walls being the one-way drops. It's the only character in the game that is capable of doing this, and it's on the stage, which is really useful. It's also combined with a bow jump, if you didn't notice. It's basically a like a jump into a special attack of the bow, which gives you lots of height, followed by a dash. Something in that order. I don't know. I think I played this game. And now we go back to the good old waiting, followed by dashing across the map. No, just dashing, dashing. Dashing all the way across China. Is that a problem? I think there's a slight possibility he just softlocked the game by killing Ma Chao there. Maybe. Because I'm fairly sure you softlock by doing that. I really hope I'm wrong. Uh-oh. Streamer doesn't know. Streamer doesn't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I swear when we first found out this strat, like, of course we killed Ma Chao, and it's softlocked, I'm pretty sure. By the way, this trick I found on Nico Nico Doga by a guy named Ma-chan, I think? Ma-chan. And it's really useful. Thank you. The Wang Yi thing. Yeah. Thanks. Hey, did you know that Wang Yi is actually historically recorded to have fought in battle? Isn't that cool? You have to defeat these ballistas. I might just be misremembering. Probably everything is gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. So now you're in the hands of Cao Cao once again, being your ally. Cao Cao is gonna try to run all the way to Han Sui, I think it is. Which you do not want him to do. Okay, it's not softlocked. Thank the lords. Kami-sama arigato. ありがとう。
クリアにならないって感じですね。
ですね。
And then we do the same thing over and go back to.
さらに
First we go to the second wall.
間違って馬長を倒してしまった。
And you'll see why.
そこでもう一回馬長を改めて倒すと。そういったことが必要になります。
This entire battle is based upon the fact that the Liang province, you know, Ma Teng and Han Sui, those guys, Ma Chao, they got scared that Cao Cao was mobilizing his armies to the west, but he was not planning to attack them. He was planning to attack Hanzhong, which is to the south of them.
ここで、
But they got scared and they rebelled against them.
フラグのために、画面を
You know, Ma Chao's father, Ma Teng,
と言いますのも
he was actually in Ye, which is Cao Cao's capital,
兵器ですね。もう
and his entire family was executed because Ma Chao rebelled,
これを
his
読
son.
み込ませて、はい、第一の敵突破、このフラグを立てないとなぜか本陣に
This weapon is the curved sword, and you have to have the ability of dashing,
はい、皆さん見えたと思います
which not all characters have, but you can give them the ability
視聴者を無理やり読み込んで
if they do not have it. So, for example, somebody like Guan Yu can dash if you just give them the
馬長が現れたので
the ability.
改めて倒して
And there we go. Ma Chao is dead. Not really. He flees now to Hanzhong, along with Pang De and Ma Dai, and then he betrays Zhang Lu and goes to Liu Bei, and that's how he ends up with Liu Bei.
さあ
And now we have a really interesting stage. This is probably one of my favorites.
戦い
Actually, I take that back. This stage is really annoying, but it's also pretty cool.
一番練習されていた
Dash canceling,
ステージとなっております。
the usual. Back to the base shenanigans, where you really have to hope that
ステージなんですけども、
that no peon is
途中まではやってることは
feeling
単純です。
exceptionally brave
対策です
and decides to take this base for himself. Okay, there we go. Nice.
先ほどまで見た
You could have a really hard time opening those gates, by the way. Like, I'm not kidding. Really annoying. Hopefully he makes it in time. You have to be somewhat quick here. I think he makes it. I can't hear the dialogue. Okay, he made it.
先ほどまでと同じことを
So a little example of probably the best example.
会話を
This line of dialogue right here.
されている最中は次のフラ
I
グ
mean, it's not that long, but in English, it's to battle, and that's it.
余計なセリフを出さないように
It's like 3 seconds shorter.
突破していきます。
Gunning, Lingtong. Then this base, same issue as the first base.
はい、ここまではいい感じ。
You have to just kill everyone and hope. See, gates don't open. There's one guy somewhere that decided to own this base. And now, if you had keen eyes, you might have noticed that the second weapon he's equipped is not an actual regular bow. No, it's a flame bow. Now, a flame bow has really long range, and this gate has no hitboxes,
一発
so you can shoot through it. And he shot
よし
Sun Chuan halfway across the map.
はい
Okay, not halfway across the map, but you know, at distance.
名前の通り
Also, first try. Very nice.
門の向こう側から矢を放つことによって
That was really
そ
nice.
の向こう側にいる敵将を
This is Mount Bailang, shortest stage in the game.
一部の門だけは
Nothing really happens. You kill Ma Chao, kill Zhao Yun, or defeat them, and then
あんな感じに
Who's in here?
無理やり倒すことができます。
her.
本来で
What's
した
her
ら
name?
このステージもかなりお使いがあるんですが
I've played this game before. It's
どのくらい短縮
Huang Yuing.
も
多分5分10分硬いです
う、
よね。
そうですね。
And then dialogue
短縮
at the gate,
された
as usual.
短縮した技となっております。
いや、よかった。ちょっとあれ、さっきの練習だと3、4回はやり直してたんで、一発で成功してよかったです。
The curved blade is Zhou Tai's axe weapon.
あれこのステージもう終わりですか？
はい、終わりです。で、このステージはね、花公園がなんかなくなるステージらしいんですけどね。
よっしゃー
このように生きておりますはい
勤、勉してますね。
はい。
I surprise even myself
花
sometimes.
公園も生き残ります
This dialogue's like burned into my brain. And we have arrived at the last stage.
ソーセージ繁盛の戦いです。
The year is 219
寄付額
AD.
チャレンジで、宝徳を救うという
Or
チャレンジを実はやっておりまして、
what's the other term?
目
CE.
標金額が14万円だったんですけれども、もうなんか告知されて1時間後ぐらいに達成されました。
So here you can see the swimming horse in action. I'm sure you don't even notice that it's faster than a regular horse.
ということで救いましょう。
So one little side objective you have on this stage is killing as many enemy officers as possible,
基本的には
because anyone you don't kill will cause dialogue later when your allies defeat him.
進んで仕掛けを解いて進んで
So, yeah.
行っていく ステージとなっております。一部、先ほど
So basically, during any downtime, you want to go smack up some enemies.
高台登るそういった技を使いますが、基本的には通常プレイと変わらないです。このゲームこうやって目の前の
There we have Wu betraying Shu.
上のマップを見ていると、短時間でこんなに移動したんだなっていうのが分か
How
ったりす
could
る
they?
もしもね、時間がある方はもう一回この RTA 見て
And Wei-Yan decides to not spawn in, like Liu Bei mentioned earlier.
なると思います。
It just happens, always, guaranteed.
今さらっとやりましたが、ジャンプ決めましたね。
Now you have to defeat Guan Xing and Guan Suo and his buddies, I think, too.
簡単ななんか変なことしなくていい。
And then we retreat to a strategic gate, in front of which we wait.
パターンの崖があってであれないパターンなんで簡単に登れます。あるパターンはなんか多いみたいな変なことしないとちょっと登れないんですけど。
ある場合はあんな感じ無双ゲージ
Oh wait, we first take a base.
無双ゲージを使ってちょっと技使って
Isn't that amazing?
前に行く推進力だったりちょっと高さだったりあとは馬使ってジャンプする
Oh, he's taking a little detour to
そういったことが必要
defeat some enemies.
はい、宝徳を救いました。
This does cause dialogue, though.
これでもう大丈夫です。
But it doesn't matter because the trigger is the Wu guys reaching the base, I think.
ということで宝徳も
Right?
登りましたね。
I hope so.
もうほぼほぼイフルートですね。
イフルートです。まあでもこれ私立エンドなんですよ
はい、
ね。
シーズンエンドなんで、はい、エンディング
Maybe it was just a little thing he was asked to do. I don't know.
私立だ。
So, because of the amazing dialogue, Guan Suo is still talking, even though you defeated him like 10 minutes ago.
私は気づかずに
Sadly, some dialogue just happens regardless of what you
ま
do.
あ普通そうだと思います。
Oh, by the way, I never mentioned it, but
通常プレイだと
you can manipulate rams and allies, for that matter, to attack faster by looking away.
大体
So basically, look at it whilst it
気づ
attacks,
いた時にはもう
and then if you look away, it will go back to its like spawning position, you could say, or its initial position, really fast. But if you keep looking at him, it'll do the slowest backwards driving you've ever seen in your life.
はい、で、この鳥の中にディクソンとリョも、近づくとです
Hey,
ね
Sun Jian claims
あのあんまり近づきたくありません。けど
the
この鳥の中に
what's the term?
敵が
Ancestry
現
of
れて
Sun Tzu,
そっとっていうやつ必要があります。
which is likely not true, but he claims it.
ピンポンダッシュ成功するか。
そう
それにしても演説長いですね。
はい、
Extra long dialogue because we're playing in Japanese.
敵が現れました。
The only reason it's so long is because in Japanese they take such long breaks in between like the little lines they have. Like I'm going over there. Okay, maybe not like that, but I'm going over there. Guy, let's go.
さて、そろそろタイマーストップの時間近づいてまいりました。
はい、
That was a great example.
左下の赤い兜マーク
So here is the ram,
を倒した瞬間にタイマー
which
スト
will
ップ
break down the gates. It takes 2 hits.
さて
So he looked at it, now he goes away.
攻撃
They also have a proximity thing, so even if you're looking away, but if you're really close, they still are slow.
2回目
Oh, sorry, did I say 2? I meant 3.
勝者後ろに戻る
That's the number after 2.
セーブロードを挟んで
So now this third hit, the gate will be broken.
席が破られました。
Then we go to Guan Yinping,
あと残るは
who hasn't spawned in yet. Just give her a second. Just 1 second.
どこえあいたいたいた
There she is. It doesn't matter because it does matter. Wow, okay. You got a bit screwed then.
いいね
And that is the end. Guan Yu, the God of War, falls. Apparently by Shao Dun.
ちょっと黙ってみようと思います。はい。
Oh, they're gonna watch the Japanese cutscene. Should I dub it? I'm not gonna dub it, sorry. I don't really watch these, so I can't recall what exactly they say. Sarabato. Is that Sarabato? 'Means bye, I guess. I don't know. Oh, Pang De is still alive for the cutscene. Maybe that's why he did it? Oh, he doesn't die immediately in this cutscene. I guess Pang De has a lot to say to him. Pang De, who was executed by Guan Yu because he would not surrender, by the way. Kind of funny to see. Alright, put on your sunglasses. He's about to give off light. Well, he's wearing half a pair of sunglasses, I guess. That works.
はい、ありがとうございました。完走した感想なんですけれども、48分25秒、会場入りしてから一番いいタイムが出ました。会場入りした時はもうめちゃくちゃ絶不調で、もうこれは50分
はい、ありがとうございました。
というような、
He said.
どん底からの始まりだったんですけど、
So,
調子を上げて、本番で
thank you for joining me in my commentary of this run of RTA in Japan. Dinosaurs 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition, which by the way is not complete. In typical Koei fashion, you get like 4 of the 80 DLC. Yeah, it happens, okay. The runner was Robin. You can follow him at Robin_Kirisame. Do know that he streams in Japanese. But he speaks very well English. Unlike me, apparently, he speaks English very well. So, be sure to check him out. There's no point in checking me out because I do not stream this game. So, unlucky.
走られた鉄さんのツイッターをチェックしてみてください。はい、その他、いろいろ宣伝したことあるんですが、やりたい無双ゲーとか、いろいろイベント開催情報とか、ツイートしておりますので、僕のツイッターもよろしくお願いします。はい、僕からは以上です。じゃあ、はい、
And here we have the movie. I guess we're also watching that. Big fan of movies. Be sure to stretch after that 1 hour. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Jung-ha.
RTA In Japan のチャンネルなんかやってたらアフリゲやってんなと思っていただければと思います。1月末です。以上です。
はい。じゃあ、次のゲーマーソルト&サクリファイス、潮のお時間です。奏者ハンターのスミスさんです。この後も RTA In Japan ウィンター2022お楽しみください。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
OK です。